Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Drama Study Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be covering a Thai BL drama that I am currently watching titled My Stubborn. This is a BL drama that has 12 episodes total, but I think they've only aired about 4. And if you know anything about me and my history and what I like, you know that I am one for a toxic drama. I am one for a drama where one of the characters is absolutely a terrible person and I eat it up every time. And that is the case in this drama. The male lead here is one of the most toxic BL characters I've ever seen. And I love it so much. So yeah, that is the drama I'm covering this episode. To give a quick synopsis of this drama, basically we have Jun, who is our protagonist, or should I say our main character, and he's an intern at this company, and he gets kind of entangled with this other colleague of his called Thorn. And even the second couple is like two of their co-workers. So I think I would say like the office setting is like the main setting for this. That's where everybody kind of converges at. But honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't know what they do. I don't know what like work they do. I just know that everybody is working in this place, right? And that's like where a lot of the drama happens, right? During and Swan actually do not meet in the company. They meet somewhere else. From the very first episode, there's a lot going on. And I will say like this is an NC-17 drama, right? So there's a lot of like sexuality and stuff like that in this, right? I would say that here I like it because it's tastefully done, but yeah, it is on the spicier side of things. So yeah, let me say first impression about this drama, why I decided to watch it. I will say that like I had no real impression about this. I didn't know any of the cast members. They are kind of from a smaller company, so I don't know a lot about like the production company or the company that is putting this together. So I didn't have that like backstory of who these people are, if they are a couple. And when I say couple, I mean like ship couple, because you know the BL world is a very different world. Like the Thai BL world, people just like stay together, right? They don't like change couples, and if they change couples, that's like a sign of a problem, according to the fandom. Like, you know, you don't change couples. There are a few people I would say that do change, but they are known for that, and I'll say 90% will just keep working together. So I came into this kind of blind, and I am glad I did. I think so far it's been pretty good, right? It's been pretty good. I would say that it's kind of quirky. There's a lot of like scenes that made me laugh, and I don't know if they're trying to be funny. I don't think they are necessarily, but yeah, it has some funny moments in this. It's not too over the top, like sound effects kind of quirky, but it does have that aspect to it. It's also very like, you know, sensual. Like there are a lot of like the sex scenes are shown. Like I watched episode 4 recently, and the first 5 minutes is like a sex scene. So like just to give you an idea, it does go really in detail, and I will give them props in this. Is that like NC scenes are a hit or miss for me. I can either really like it or really like dislike it, and I'll say here I really really like it, but I'll come back to that. Let's first talk about the characters, because I did mention that some people in here are really toxic, and when I mean some people, I mean just Sorn is the most toxic, one of the most toxic male lead. He's up there with like Vegas and Ming, right? If kind of in a different way, right? It's just really really bad, and in like a cheap way too. It's not like in a way that like I'll be like, oh okay, that's kind of interesting. This way it's kind of cheap. Like he has the main character kind of feeling bad and crying at work. He's like sabotaging his character even though it's just an intern, right? And that just does not sit well with me. But again, like I said, I do have a thing for men with low emotional maturity in like dramas, right? They work for me somehow in dramas. So yeah, like I mentioned, these two people kind of meet in a very odd way, right? the very first time we meet them, they end up giving each other like a blowjob and like, making out by the pool side, right? Or by like the pond. I feel so bad for the fishes. It's always the fishes that have to like see all this side. But yeah, that's kind of how we're introduced to these two characters. And from then, we find out a little bit about the leads. Jun is someone he's young, like he's out there in the scene, he's like dating and he dates women. Like that has always been his thing, right? It's when he meets Sorn and having relations with Sorn that I think his taste starts to change, right? Because I guess Sorn gives it to him good. Right. And so I do find like his character is very interesting. He's had moments to ponder about how he feels and his sexuality and stuff like that, and he is a character. I'll say that like he's considered younger of the two, right? He's considered more of like a more naive character, and it shows. But I would say that he has a lot of like emotional maturity, and he knows himself very well, and what he doesn't know he tries to find out, and he's very good at that, right? So I really like his character. In the just 4 episodes that we've seen him in, he's kind of grown a lot already, right? I think one of my favorite scenes is when he's talking to Piang, who is his friend, well, turned friend. He used to be someone that he thought he would date because once his taste changed, he tried dating men and specifically tried being a top, right? When it comes to like that dynamic, right? And he later, finds out that he's maybe not really into being a top as much as he kind of like wants to, be a bottom, right? And I find it just fantastic how he has that conversation with his friend, or like his bestie, as Pian calls him at the end of that, where he explains like his conflict, and you see Pian kind of reassuring him of that, because Piang is, I'll say, someone that's kind of like grown. He knows who he is, like he's sure of himself already, whereas I feel like Jun is still kind of like working through that, right? And so it was nice to see that scene where they kind of have that discussion. So I will say that Jun is he's more naive, he's more like juvenile in like little things here and there, but I would say that generally he is the more mature character in terms of like communication and being honest and stuff like that. So even though at work he's an intern and everything, he is still like really like easy to like, he's relatable in a lot of ways, right? And I really like that. Now Son, on the other hand, and this is the part that like really like drives me up the wall. Son, on the other hand, is supposed to be years and years older than June, right? He's supposed to be kind of the one leading June in a lot of things. He's supposed to be the one that knows things. He's supposed to be the one that is more mature, right? He's the one that's friends with June's like kind of older brother figures, right, in his life, right? That is his character. And honestly, Son is none of those things. He is easily the most childish character I have ever seen. He is really bad at communicating. He most likely is two timing, I'm not sure yet. He seems like he has like a relationship with another like colleague of theirs, but he also seems like that colleague Penny, her name is, I think, has feelings for another girl. So I think Penny is using him to like prove something to the other girl she likes. But at the same time, I'm not sure, because there's a scene where they have something that seems romantic. It seems like they like fall into bed together, right? So I'm not sure what that dynamic is, right? Maybe she just by and she's playing the field, and she's also just using Son to like make that girl jealous at the same time, right? So it may be something like that, right? But anyways, Son is so terrible in that like he clearly like likes June, right? He clearly like really really likes June. That's all he cares about. He's really possessive. He really wants June. And yet under the guise of like teaching June all this stuff, right, he pretends that like he's not really interested, that like they're just friends with benefits. And it's very, very annoying to see, kind of, right? Because it's like at some point you have to just admit that, like, oh yeah, I don't want my student to be, seeing other people. Like, what the hell does that even mean, right? So I find that kind of like just a little off-putting. But again, toxic male lead is my thing, and I can't wait for when he's going to start groveling, because I will say that the character of June here is someone that I think knows his worth a lot more. And I think when he gets fed up, he's going to get fed up, and someone is going to like bear the brunt of that, right? Like someone is going to pay for that, right? I better see some groveling, because honestly at this point it just makes no sense how someone is doing all these things and claiming that he doesn't like have feelings for Jane, when it's so clear that he does, right? At the end of episode 3, they have a little talk, and even in that, like, someone is not being honest in how it feels, right? Instead of him to just be honest and be like, I like you and all these things, he's just lying about it, talking about how he doesn't have a wife. I don't know who asked him if he has a wife. Obviously, like, in their age range, they're obviously, it's like girlfriends he would have. I don't know why he keeps mentioning, he's mentioned it twice now, and it like puts me out of the story, because I don't know if that's on purpose, that the like writer makes him say that, or if that's just bad writing, right? Like, do you understand? So I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, he says that quite often, and it just makes no sense. Yeah. So I really don't know about this character. I do want him to grovel really, really bad. I do want him to, because I mean, I would say he's already down bad. He wants June all the time. Like, June is everything to him. He kisses this boy like so, like the amount of kisses and kissings they've had in this is unbelievable. Like it's like really, really unbelievable, because like someone is just so down bad for this boy, and like he won't admit it, right? And it's all on the down low. No one knows about this thing, right? Even though June is coming to work with hickeys and everything, right? And I am curious to see how June's like older like support figures, right? His older like mentors in that office would react to like knowing they actually are a thing, and like that basically someone has been taking advantage of this boy this whole time, right? Because I assume they will blow a gasket. Like, I just know they're gonna be pissed, right? And I will say that the one thing that I kind of struggle with, even though I like my toxic male lead, I don't like it when it goes too far. The scene where someone basically makes June make a mistake at work by lying. I don't get why he would do that. Like, I get being down bad and being possessive and being annoying in a way, but to that extent really rubs me the wrong way, kind of. Like, he makes his character like kind of like pathetic in a way to do that, right? So I did not understand that one part, right? And I hated to see him cry in that stairwell. I really hated it, because like obviously an intern, like he wants to prove himself and everything, and here comes this guy that he's giving himself to, and this is how he's repaying him. Like, can you imagine? I need June to withhold sex just like for a few days, because someone is acting out and I need him to be reeled back in. He's acting like he's the one with the leash. He's not. And I think June needs to like show that, right? He needs to prove that to him. So yeah, I really cannot wait for their groveling. Like, I need someone to grovel badly, like really, really badly. And that's, I think, one of my favorite parts about like dramas with toxic leads, like toxic male leads. I just, when it comes to time for them to grovel, I'm just awaiting that, and that always happens, and that's my favorite part, right? Because I need them to understand the severity of their actions. So yeah, I would say that that's the only one part that I kind of like had a little bit of like an ick about, right? But otherwise, so good. If I have to talk about their chemistry, which I will say is the best part about this show, right? Because honestly, like I said, the plot because Son is just being an ass, and that is what's carrying us through each episode. Because obviously, once they like are into each other and are on the same page and are actually dating, we lose interest, right? It's not as fun, right, than now where Son is just being a little asshole, right? So I will say that their chemistry is kind of what is the biggest part of this. It's what's like making this drama, because I have to say that their chemistry is so good, right? Like anyone that's watching this, you have to tell me, isn't that chemistry like awesome? Like in a way that like I mentioned, NC scenes are a hit or miss for me. If it's not done right, it kind of gets sloppy, which is fine in real life, whatever, right? No one is like watching you, like, have, you get what I'm saying? Whereas, like on TV, to an extent, the audience wants to see some nice visuals. They want to see some heat. They want to see some sensuality, right? And so I do struggle a lot with some NC scenes because it's not well directed, right? Or like you mistakenly see like someone's boxers is still on, and when you know what I'm saying. Um, so like in this one, I would say that none of that happened. This was very well done. Son and June kiss so well, and I don't know, the characters do it in a way that like it's pleasing to watch them do it. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like they're just very good at it. Like episode 4, and even before episode 4, like anytime like someone kisses June, I'm always like, this is so good, like they do it so well, right? But in episode 4, where they have their sex in the first episode, I was it was breathtaking. It was so well done. I applaud them. And there's another scene I think in episode 3 where I think that's really the first time they have sex, and you kind of just see. And again, I feel like BL dramas don't do this often, where they like show you like kind of they let you imagine what is happening in that scene, right? So in episode 3, when they finally have sex, you see it on June's face, like the feeling that he's going through, right? As he goes through this, and going back to the fact that he had that conversation with Piang about thinking that he might be a bottom, right? Seeing him experience it and seeing how he feels and the feeling on his face is so good. And that is what I love to see, right? I just love to see, kind of like that intimacy, right? That kind of show that, oh, okay, this character is enjoying what is happening to him, right? It's not kind of just passive, right? And episode 3 and episode 4, like the sex scene were off the chains. It was well done. Like I really applaud them, because it can get a lot, like it can get kind of messy as well, and they managed to make it not, they managed to like make it worth watching, and I really like that. And yeah, so props to them. They have very good chemistry between them. Like actually, like the characters are just pleasant to watch, and I really like that. So even though there's not that much plot, right? And even though that like someone's character is kind of a dick, like there's still so much that they all kind of just work well together to give us this drama, and I love it so much, right? It's just the perfect pace, honestly. It's just the perfect like level of like drama, level of like sensual and NC scenes, that it just makes this drama work perfectly, and I have to give it up for them. They really did something. So yeah, I have really no complaints about this, because again, like I said, like toxic male is, that's my thing. NC scenes that don't well, that's my thing. BL, that's my thing. So this is actually really good, right? Obviously, like it's not like they have all the budget, right? But they make do what they have, and it has come out really good. I have seen dramas with more budget that's not as good as this. So I love this. It is just off my alley, and I honestly 2025 has been good to me in terms of like BL drama so far. Like actually, I am very thankful. Thankful to the BL girls that keep like sponsoring and like producing these dramas, because it's so good. So yeah, that's really all I have for this episode. I would be curious about what you guys think about this drama. Do let me know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day and week. And yeah, I'll talk to you again next week. Have a lovely one. Bye.